All right, so this is probably the most ambitious Corvette project on the internet right now. 1972 Corvette with a LS engine. This is actually an LS6, 405 horsepower from the factory. And you're probably saying, what makes that so crazy? Well, I decided to put the full Corvette suspension in this thing. Yeah, that is the factory Z06 transaxle and differential mounted in the back of the Corvette. You can see back here, I've got the whole suspension back here, and I've got a custom square tube frame. I'm building a new backbone. There's a torque tube underneath this. And yeah, getting a little crazy here. Up front you can kind of see some of the factory suspension. That's all put together there. There's no shocks in there right now, just the transverse leaf spring, which is disconnected. And I'm probably going to ditch the transverse leaf spring and go coilovers. I don't know if I can get that transverse leaf spring low enough for what I want with this car. So yeah, that's what we got going on. So if you've never seen anything like this before and you're very curious if I can pull this off or not, you might want to hit that subscribe button. You can see that I'm starting to fiberglass in new floors on this Vette. Their factory frame runs across here, and like I said, when you pull the body off, you're going to have the frame supports underneath there. I've got some 1/8" plate reinforcing the seat front and back, and it's looking pretty good. I might put a little more stiffness right in the middle of these floorboards, but honestly, no pressure is going here, so I'm not sure if I need to or not. Probably just the footwells. Definitely throw some more up there for the feet, but you know, it's not going to be anything here, so why bother? But I'm sure I made a few mistakes doing this. I could have done it a little bit better, but I'm learning. So I'm going to do the driver's side now, and I'm going to show you how I did that, hopefully without the mistakes that I made. So let's see how that goes. Before, I would just take the fiberglass and I dropped it down to the bottom, and I kind of built up the walls from there. I didn't have any back support, and that was a little dicey. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to get some cardboard templates, and I'm going to back this up, tape it down to this floor, and then fiberglass over it. I've got plastic sheeting down right now, which was also a mistake I did on the other side. I thought the plastic sheeting would give me a nice smooth finish, but in reality the plastic actually started to bubble with all the epoxy. I don't know if it's a chemical reaction or a heat reaction, but it didn't turn out too smooth. So I wound up cutting out a lot of the center floor and then re-epoxying it straight to the melamine. Melamine releases fiberglass pretty well, so that works better for me. But so I'm going to build up some cardboard structure across here all the way around the sides, and then we'll see how we want to deal with this front part. Okay, so I got my cardstock filled in here, all the blank areas, and I'm just going to go ahead and wet it with my resin. Got about 7 ounces here, and I'm actually going to start on the sides. On the other side, I started on the bottom, which I don't think was the best idea. So I'm going to start on the sides, get the sides looking real nice, and then I'm going to remove the plastic and do the bottom. So we're just going to paint this on and get it going. I'm not really interested in saving the cardstock here, but by putting the resin on the cardstock, it gives you a little more penetration of the resin to the fiberglass. That's the only reason I'm doing this. lots piece of resin on the frame. Totally encapsulate that. And when you're mixing the fiberglass, you don't want to do much more than 6 or 8 ounces at a time, because the more fiberglass resin you have mixed up, the faster it's going to set on you. It's going to kick off a lot quicker. I should probably have these pre-cut, but I don't. I'm just going to lay them in here. And we'll make sure it's totally saturated there. We'll just keep adding on to it. I'm putting a little bit on the floor and a little bit on the existing fiberglass to try to tie the floor to the original fiberglass tub. And I'll probably need several layers of fiberglass for this. So my first goal here is just to fill in all the gaps. So I'm probably going to do 1 or 1.5 layers all around the edges. And then once it sets, then I'll be able to add on my extra layers, and I'll be able to roll it out and try to get all the extra resin off. This is going to be a little resin heavy right now, but we'll work on that later. Got a little bit of a gap in this corner here, so I'm just trying to stretch out this fiberglass as smoothly as I can, kind of like Kim Kardashian's bodysuits. I get rid of all the wrinkles here. Alright, well, my first layer of fiberglass has started to set up here. It's still a little soft right now. I say it's just 1 layer. So I am going to go over it with a second layer, now that I got a little support, a little structure, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in some of this heavier duty fiberglass on top of it as well. I'm still going to start with the thin stuff because it just molds so much nicer. But yeah, I'll be going over the good stuff here in just a bit. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and brush the stuff in. Epoxy on the metal back here. So yeah, I'm going to do 1 more layer of the lightweight fiberglass, and then the probably a couple layers of the heavyweight fiberglass. I'll put the lightweight fiberglass down first because it molds so much better, and the heavyweight fiberglass has a hard time getting around these little nooks and crannies. And it is hot out here today in Mexico. I mixed up 7 ounces the first time, and I think I wasted about 2 ounces because it started to kick off too quick. The resin started smoking. I said, oh, that's it, we're done. So yeah, that's 1 layer there. Now on top of that, I'll go ahead and put in these smaller pieces. Like I said, you want to make sure you're on a fairly regular surface, evenly curved or even better straight. No sharp angles. This heavy stuff doesn't do angles well. Alright, so it's the next day now, and you can see my little strip of fiberglass all around the edges here. And you probably can't see there, but out here you can kind of see how it comes down and then out, and then just kind of cut it off. And that's going to make my flange so I can do the floor. But the last time I did the floor, on the other side, the plastic wrinkled up on me and did not give me a very nice result. So I'm just going to take a razor blade and cut out the plastic now. I'm done with it. Alright. So for the floor, I'm going to be using this heavy duty cloth fiberglass. I use this for the boat and it works really well. Doesn't bend so well around tight corners, but this will work really great for the bottom of the floor where it's nice and flat. Alright, so mixing up just a couple of ounces of resin. This is the epoxy stuff, the expensive stuff. And we're just going to wet these areas again. Down goes the fiberglass. Alright, well it's the next day and the floor looks pretty good, so I need to try to raise this body up and see if it sticks to the melamine or not. So let's give this a try. I'm all strapped in. Let's give it a little bump. Here we go. You guys are going to go on a ride here. Here we go. Ooh. Looks sticky. Here we go. It's popping. Woo! We're free. Very nice. So at this point, I can remove that melamine board. I don't need it anymore. Slide out. All right, free. Free at last. Okay, so here you can see the driver's side floor compared to the passenger floor. Oh, the driver's side looks so much more nice. This one is super white right now because I still have a piece of that plastic board. It's can you see it over there, that plastic board in front of the Lambo? So that's underneath there. It seems to be stuck to the fiberglass. So I might need a spatula and a hammer to pry that loose. But it did a great job for a form. In fact, I think I'm going to use that same board to work on my rear deck area here. I'm going to have to fill all of this in, make a cover, so I can store my T-tops back here one of these days. So I also need to build new wheel well arches too, so I might use those forms to build me some arches. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Let me show you real quick here what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is the stuff in question. It has floor plans on it right now, but when you see up front, it's like corrugated cardboard, but it's all plastic. And the stuff actually bends pretty well this way, so I can make, if I cut it this way, I can bend it pretty well in that one direction. Although it doesn't bend this way very well, but that's fine. One-way bend. One-way stretch fabric. But yeah, I think that'll work really well for these wheel wells with the proper, you know, taping and masking and all that good stuff. I think that'll work pretty well. And it's easy to cut too. So I like that. So that'll be a different video. On this one here, let me go down underneath the car and see if I can show you how it looks down here. I hope you guys can see this. But yeah, I got some rough spots here and there. So when I'm ready, I got my old cardboard forms in here still. So when I'm ready, I'm gonna have to pull the body off, support it with my wooden stand that I made, and then sand all this down and probably put another layer or two of fiberglass underneath there to really make it look nice. Here's that board I told you about. It is stuck. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a putty knife and try to chisel it off. It's on there pretty good. But yeah, even compared to the passenger side over here, you can see the difference. Yeah, driver's side is much more nice. Well, I still haven't decided if I'm going to body work these floor pans or not. I'm going to cover up with carpet. I'll leave them as is. But I'm thinking maybe like an F40 style build, minimal race car. It's kind of noisy, I know. But we'll see, we'll see. You know, the carpet is really nice for controlling road noise. For I can hide thermal barrier underneath the carpet to help keep the car cold in the summer, because it is hot down here in Mexico. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. This is probably the craziest Corvette project on YouTube right now. So yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.